Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now just recently, Hippo reached out to me and asked if I'd like to try their sublimation tumblers. Now I already use their ink in one of my sublimation printers, so I thought, yeah, let's give it a try. So in the box that I just had in front of me, you get 4 tumblers. They are all individually boxed. You get 4 metal straws with the brush to clean them. And then you get shrink wrap. In addition, you get an instruction sheet. Now, I'm not going to use the shrink wrap because I'm going to use a tumbler press. And what I want to do before I get started is jump on Amazon just super quickly and show you the price of these tumblers right now and the price of this tumbler press right now. You are going to be amazed at how inexpensive these are with the coupons that are online right now. Now, I'm on Amazon's website. Just going to take a minute to show you this because I was so amazed at this price. Notice it shows a 10% coupon and an additional 30% off right now. So I've already put the 4-pack in my cart. Let's go there. So you can see they started out at $32.99. That's about $8.25 per tumbler. But you take off that 30% and the 10%, it gets down to under $20 before tax. And even after you add the tax, they're only $5 and about 50 cents each. That's like Alibaba prices, but with the security of Amazon. And then I was looking at this press this morning just to see where the price was on it, and look at this price. $219.99. It says it's the lowest price in 30 days. Now, one thing I noticed when I looked at it, it shows over there on the control panel, Celsius or Fahrenheit. I have not figured out how to get mine to Fahrenheit yet. I just haven't even taken the time to try. But you can see you get some tape, some gloves, some shrink wrap, and the press. So we looked to see what came in the box with these, and then we got online and we looked at the price. But even with that great price, if they don't sub well, it's just not worth your money. So let's see how this goes. Now here's mainly what I'm going to use today. I have a tumbler press, the tumbler, some heat tape. I'm going to clean it with some alcohol and a paper towel. My print, I'll cut that down with the ruler and the rotary blade. And then I have a heat glove. Now I always like to get my tumblers cleaned really well. So I'm going to start with that so that it can dry while I'm cutting down my design. All right, so we have the tumbler and the lid fits nicely. You can close it off. I like that. And then of course down in here we have this black piece. Now when you clean these, make sure that you don't get any alcohol over on your print because that's going to ruin your print if you do. I like to just spray some alcohol on a paper towel and then wipe this down. Now some people skip this step. It's probably fine, but I always figured it's just not worth it to skip it in case there's anything on the tumbler. All right, I'm going to find a dry spot, dry that off, and then by the time I'm ready to wrap that, that's going to be dry. Now I want to make sure this is dry. It feels fine. Now I printed my image at 8.2 inches tall and 9.4 inches wide. So we'll see if that's the right size. On this design, it's going to be close enough. As long as it's large enough, this design doesn't look like it'll be too finicky. Now you can use like one of those guillotine paper cutters. You can use scissors. This is my preferred method. When I've tried to use paper cutters before, sometimes I actually crinkle my paper. Now there's a little bit of white there. That's going to be at the bottom of the tumbler, and the bottom is kind of beveled, so I'm not concerned about that. Now you definitely don't want white on at least one side of your print, and I'll show you when I wrap this why. Okay, so I have a lot of videos on tumblers, wrapping them, taping them, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but let me show you what I was talking about. when you wrap your tumbler, first of all, I just like to set my cup up and put the paper flat on the table so that I know it's straight. Okay, so the width that I did is barely long enough. I think it's fine though. It's a little taller than I need it, and I don't like excess paper at the top. So instead of cutting from the top, I'll just cut more from the bottom. What I have found is when you have a lot of excess paper at the top or the bottom, it tends to pucker. And that's when you get some problems in your sublimation, some little lines. We don't want that. All right, so that looks much better. Now here's what I was talking about. There's no white here, and actually there's no white here. It's okay if you have a little white on one side, but that needs to be the side that goes on the top. The side that goes against your tumbler can have no white, otherwise you're going to have a white stripe. All right, so let's get this straight. And then once I have it straight, I want to pull tightly on that paper so there's no air or gaps under it. And again, I barely made this long enough. So if you buy these tumblers, instead of going with 9.4, I might go with 9.5. Just to give you a little bit of excess wiggle room. All right, so again, I have videos on taping. I'm not going to go through a lot of details on that. The main thing is you want to get it taped down really tight. And then the tops and the bottoms, you need to be really picky about how you do those. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the top first because to me the top of the tumbler is more important than the bottom. Now you can decide how you want to do yours. This is just how I do mine. But basically, I want to put the tape down on the side of the paper that's on the top and then pull against the other side. And for this piece of tape, I want it to be fairly even with the top of the tumbler. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I like it to be fairly even with the top of the tumbler. Now you can see that looks bad. That's not going to matter. Then I take another piece, and on this one, I pull it really, really tight. The last one, I made sure that it was snug, but I didn't pull it super tight. On this one, I'm going to pull really tight so that that paper is wanting to kind of curl in against the tumbler. Now this video is about these sublimation tumblers, so I'm not too concerned about it. This is going to be my cup. But I'm going to take my time to try to check this and make sure I have a pretty good tape job. All right, then I'm basically going to do the same thing on the bottom. All right, so that looks good. Now, if you're not using a tumbler press, you can use that shrink wrap that came with it if you want to, put it in the oven. But for me, I really like my tumbler press. So let's go ahead and turn this on. Now with this press, there might be a way to show Fahrenheit temperatures. I really haven't even looked into it. I just know that I want it at 190 degrees Celsius. So as soon as this heats up, we're ready to move on. All right, this is up to temperature. Notice it says no heating up without mug. What I really think that means is do not have this closed without the mug in there. But somebody did point out to me that I should follow the instructions. So don't necessarily do it the way I do it. Do it the way your instructions tell you to do it. So here's what I like to do. I like to have a little piece of paper that I wrap my tumbler in. And I like to have the seam either at the front or the back. I don't like it up or down. I like it at the front or the back. So I'm just going to put this tumbler in my paper cradle, slide it in from the side, and then close this up. Now when you close this up, the timer starts automatically. So when this goes off, I'm going to open it up, turn it 180 degrees. It's going to be really hot, so I have my heat glove. So I turned it 180 degrees, and I'm going to go 50 more seconds. Now I'm just going 90 degrees. I used to do this for 20 more seconds. I'm just going to do it 10 more seconds. And then on the last press, I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. The seam should be up. I'll do 10 more seconds. I just like to make sure that all four sides get the same amount of pressure, the same amount of heat. All right, let's go ahead and take this out. And then I need to let this cool off for just a little bit. Let me find my tile so I can do that. All right, this is extremely hot. I can see my image through it. Now on some papers, you can really see your image really well. On this HTV Ront, which has become my go-to paper, I don't know if it's thicker or what it is, but you don't see it through it quite as well. So I'm going to set this down, let it cool for a few minutes, then I'm going to take a peek. I'm not going to unwrap it because I might want to put it back in the press. All right, let me go ahead and take some of this tape off so we can look at it. I like to just cut a little slit in it, and that helps you get your tape started coming off. So when you do this, just make sure you don't scratch your tumbler, because if you do, well, that looks good. If you scratch your tumbler, it's going to show. All right, I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and take some of this tape off down here. I don't think I'm really cutting through that tape. All right, let's just see if I can pull it over the end. It's starting to be cool enough that I can touch it. But this tape is giving me fits. There we go. All right, so let me try to peek at this end too. Ooh, that's nice and dark. All right, we're going to go for it. I think it looks good. I hope it looks good. Again, what we're trying to figure out is, do these sublimation tumblers sublimate well? So don't judge me if I didn't get the top and the bottom perfect. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. That is gorgeous. Wow. Those colors are amazing. Okay, so here's my seam. Doesn't look bad, looks pretty good. The light that you see there, that's in the design. That's not me. And then here's the top. And where you might see a little bit of white, that's actually a glare. This top looks very good. And this bottom, it looks good as well. Now, you can see a little bit of the imperfections as it goes under the tumbler, but that is great. I love that. I love that design. I love these colors. And I am incredibly impressed with these sublimation tumblers. So at that price, I'm going to go ahead and order more for myself because this did a top quality job. Now, if you need to stock up on tumblers, check these out. I have my link in the video description. And at least when I did this, there was a coupon, there was a discount, there was like a double way to save money. And it made them really inexpensive. It made them like you get them from Alibaba. But instead, you're getting them off of Amazon and you're getting them quickly. So thanks for joining me. And until my next video, bye-bye.